Silence. It can be unbearable. Silence can emphasize, empower, and terrify. Filmmakers often use true silence sparingly, substituting it with diegetic sound effects or a powerful score. Even old silent films weren't truly silent, as they were often accompanied by music performed live in the theater that matched the general mood of any particular film. I was in high school when I first saw Fritz Lang's M. M uses silence to emphasize the dark nature of the plot. In M, a child predator has struck a city multiple times, leading to strict lockdowns and harsh yet fruitless investigations, as multiple groups race to bring the murderer to justice. The use of silence in M steals the audience's attention and forces them to look closely as each scene unfolds, as the audience can only watch while children are led to their dooms, with the silence being broken sparingly by the motif of the killer whistling and the sound of police sirens. Silence builds tension among the audience, tension that rises as each group comes closer and closer to catching the killer before he can kill his next victim, and tension that pays off as the killer is placed in front of a court of criminals that silently watch, just as the audience has, as the killer breaks down.
Aber ich kann nicht denn anders.
Not long after seeing M for the first time, with its impactful use of silence still fresh in my mind, everyone's favorite Star Wars movie was released in theaters. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, only uses silence as a tool of emphasis once. During the Holdo maneuver scene, the film's audio cuts as the Resistance ship careens into the First Order flagship at near light speeds. In the real world, sound doesn't travel through the vacuum of space. In a galaxy far, far away, sound travels wherever it damn well pleases. The sudden shift from the fantastical nature of Star Wars' sound design to realism grounds the scene and gives it an unexpected weight that places it firmly as a top-tier Star Wars moment, despite being from one of the most divisively received movies in the franchise. But it wasn't until recently, when I decided to make this video, that I watched a film that's probably the most notable use of purposeful silence in recent years. A Quiet Place uses silence in much the same way that M does. While the film is lacking in true silence, filling its scenes with the ambient noise of the world of the film, the use of silence creates a terrifying sense of suspense in a world where being too loud will result in your death. Silence very quickly slots itself into the place left empty by the omission of noise, and creates a status quo of caution that makes every interruption of that status quo impactful. The silence in A Quiet Place forces you to listen closely to every cricket and every floorboard creak, only to shock you with the noise of a raccoon falling off a roof. It combines the techniques I've talked about in regards to M and The Last Jedi to create something much more than your average Hollywood monster movie. Next time you don't hear something in a movie, whether it be during a thriller, an action movie, or a horror movie, think about the deliberate choice behind that scene and how it makes you as an audience member feel. Or check your TV volume. You might have hit the mute button by mistake. I know this sounds YouTuber-y, but if you got to this point, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing. My goal is to get this channel to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and it's already fairly close. Also, watch this video about the greatest villain in cartoon history if you haven't yet.